buckle up, guys, grab yourself a beverage and sit back and relax. And again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight, 120 of you here. If I didn't say hello to you, I do apologize, but I do want to get the show on a roll here. So I do want to do my main topic tonight, but I also, if there are things that you guys want to talk about, I do kind of want to do an open mic tonight. I want you guys, if there are things that you want to discuss, please make sure that you ask in the chat. I'm going to ask maybe Eric, if you would kind of keep an eye on the chat, if there's any good questions that come up as topic questions type of things that we can go back and highlight, okay? So basically, the first thing that I want to talk about is I made the announcement recently on the channel, not necessarily a formal video, but I did announce that I'm going to be officially going into the Bat Bunker, which for those of you that don't know is basically a 3-car garage space. So picture a 3-car garage empty. And that's a pretty sizable space. I know that a lot of people have reached out and said, that is a dream amount of space because, we're kind of used to having crammed spaces. I did talk to Dan whenever I visited him a couple weeks ago.
Is he frozen?
Yep.
He is. Well, I got to say, a 3-car garage would be a dream space for me.
Yeah, right.
I can imagine having that. That'd be awesome. But I'd probably fill it.
Yeah.
Just fill it with cars.
The room that I'm in when this house was built was originally a garage. You had done take alone to fill it.
Yeah. But boy, that'd be so cool to have that much space.
Sorry about that, guys.
We were talking about what a dream it would be to have a 3-car garage space.
No, yeah. I mean, it is a dream amount of space. And what I was starting to say is when I visited Dan, we were both talking about how much I loved his office and how intimate it felt. You mentioned Disneyland a little bit ago. I've been to Disneyland, I've been to Disney World, and Disneyland feels so much more personal. It feels so much more intimate because it's smaller, it's quaint compared to the much larger Disney World. And so we were talking about that, is that could be a negative drawback of going into such a large space, is it would maybe lose some of that intimate, warm feeling. And so I agree with that, although I still think I'd rather have the space. I think I'd rather have the space. And there are pros and cons to space. Obviously, whenever you have space, you have a lot more you can display. You have a lot more you can make room for and accommodate for. Although whenever you have a smaller space, like I know, Jeff, you've recently had to do, is you've had to really contemplate, okay, if I am going to get this piece, something's got to go.
Yeah.
Which does kind of in a way keep your budget in one place because you're replacing with something else. Whereas if you have a really big space, that's obviously going to be more money to fill. It's like, so there are pros and cons to having that space. However, I have decided to do that. And so kind of what I wanted your advice tonight from the three of you, and also everybody in the chat, I also really want your advice as well, is that I've got this space, and what I'm doing is, and you guys will see this in a video, but for those of you that have been following along with the Bat Bunker, basically it's a 3-car garage space, and it also had built-in garage or like cabinets. It had cabinets in there. And it also had a workbench that was the length of one side of the room. And so I have been busy cleaning that out. This weekend, we completely took all the shelving down. And actually, somebody already bought all the shelves for me. And we're going to try to take apart the big workbench all in one piece. That quickly turned into just me taking a sledgehammer to it, which was fantastic. Destroyed it. I've cleared all that wood out of there, and now it is just kind of this open space. So basically, I've got some choices, and this is where I want you guys, your opinion. So number one, I can leave it concrete walls. And I could leave kind of like the top kind of industrial looking. Some people have suggested I paint the top black, the ceiling black, and just kind of leave those the lighting that's up there. After talking with Dan and also my wife, they both feel like the room should be finished. It should be drywalled in. There still will not be heating and cooling, but I'll have some sort of heating and cooling in there, like some sort of electronic device that will help with that. If I do the drywall, then I will also put most likely some sort of ceiling in with canned lights or something, and maybe some built-in shelves. So first of all, I wanted your opinion about the walls. Do you guys think I should leave it concrete? Do you guys think I should drywall it in? What do you guys think?
I would drywall it in.
And tell me why.
Just clearly aesthetic reasons. Yeah.
I'm always for finishing a room, but I don't know what the rest of your house looks like. So is that, because I know you already have like a whole, somewhat finished basement down there. Is that on the same floor as the rest of the rooms down where you are?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's just off of the living room basically.
So I look at it from like a standpoint, if you sell the house and somebody else is moving into it, are they going to want that finished, or are they going to want to use that again as a storage like you've been using it as a storage? So
Yep.
I don't know. Half of me, like, usually I would say finish it, but this, like, when it comes down to selling the house, I'm thinking like, well, is the next person going to want that space entirely finished unless you have other storage somewhere in the house? Like, see, I don't know what your situation is.
Well, the current 3-window room, that my wife's craft room, that would become the storage room.
Although you do say you had a 3-car garage, so that could always be used as storage as well, I guess.
Yeah, there's some up there. I mean, obviously, we have 2 cars, and I've got a go-kart or a golf cart.
See, that's a big selling point for me. When I was purchasing my house, we were specifically looking for houses that had a lot of storage because we have a lot of stuff to store.
Yeah.
Especially for like holidays and stuff like that. You want to store your Christmas stuff, you want to store your Halloween stuff and all that, stuff you're not using. So yeah, it is important to have good storage. So
the 3-window room would become storage, and we have a little bit off of what would be the back bunker. There's a little bit of storage there too. Then my wife's craft room would go in here. This would be the new craft room / our family computer, that sort of thing. We'd also, in the 3-window room, we would also put our treadmill in there. So then I would move out of this room and go completely in the other one. So
people in the chat are saying your sound will be better if you finish it.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people are worried about the sound, and that's the thing too. The current, so there's no air and heat in there, but it is in the basement, so it always stays cool. It always, even in the summertime, it's not very warm in there at all. And I agree. A lot of people are saying finish the walls. The reason why I didn't want to finish the walls is because I love that concrete aesthetic. I think it looks very, industrial, which I think would be perfect for the cave. A lot of people compare that space to the Bat Bunker in The Dark Knight, which has that, that similar look. Jeff, are you in agreement about the drywall? Do you think the drywall would be better?
I think I would. Just because, when you go to sell the house, I think it's just only going to help if you sell it and move. It's just a finished room. It's not like you're turning it into a indoor water park or something. That's like, just an empty room. Even if you use it for storage, it would be a bit more finished.
Yeah.
Like I told my wife, I said, even if it's not the Bat Cave, eventually it could still be like a theater room or a play space or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It could be something. It seems like the consensus is all drywall.
Mm-hmm.
I also was considering, some of you saw the video about the flooring. I've been talking back and forth with Jim Mint. Some of you have seen some of his footage about, he did a kind of a blue epoxy floor. And he said that the echo is not too bad at all. There's not a shiny reflective, because some people say how shiny it is, how reflective it is, but he's putting in shelving, custom shelving, which I wouldn't necessarily do. But I do worry about that surface. And so I'm leaning more toward putting in a laminate, like a gray floor laminate. And I'd also been weighing carpet, but I think laminate is probably the way I'll go. Again, it's going to help with the sound. It's going to help, with it's going to feel a little bit more warm, I think.
Yep.
So if I did, kind of a dark gray wall, maybe white trim, kind of like this, just kind of like this room here, with the black garage shelving. I think I'm going to maybe do white tops, and I don't know. We'll kind of see. I think that doing the garage shelving with doing a YouTube channel, it's just going to be smarter, flexible wise. I can really do a lot with the space, and that's one thing I wanted to show right here. So somebody did this render for me, and this is just kind of a basic idea of something that I could do, and this is using a garage shelf look, and then doing some sort of shelving in the middle. I think this looks awesome. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, I like that.
It's cool, but
Yeah.
originally I think you said you wanted to do like a TV and a couch in there too, right?
Yeah, and so again, this is just kind of like a preliminary idea. So my idea was to do the shelving along the sides, and then do some sort of shelving in the middle, and then toward that main front wall, I would put maybe a couch right there with a shelf behind it, kind of like a like a table behind a couch, you see, and then have the TV on the wall. And I also thought about doing something kind of like this, where on that main front wall, it would have, it'd be flat where the TV would be, and maybe put a few statues there as well. But then on the sides, do something like this, and put quarter scales on. What do you think of that idea? Do you think that would look good?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a little heavy duty right there. I don't think you need that much thickness.
Well, I don't need that much thickness, but I mean, I was just trying to.
I get what you're saying. See, my original issue with that space was because you said it was underground, with because I have like a similar situation. I have like a half basement under my house, and I know the same thing. It stays cool, but it also collects a lot of moisture to where I don't store specifically, things down there for that reason. Like I won't put my boxes down there or anything, because especially during the summer months, the humidity levels and the moisture that collects down there is just it's insane. But judging from because every video I see bits and pieces of what you're doing, so it looks like one wall is underground, and then you have like an opening, and then the other wall possibly faces the inside of your house. So I'm trying. Have you ever tested like the humidity levels down there, or like moisture and water and all that?
No, it's really dry in there.
Okay.
So basically,
is there a French drain on the floor and all? Like, do you have like water issues in there?
Not in this room, but there is a drain in the next room over.
Okay.
But it's always been bone dry. So we've never had any issues. So basically, our basement is a walkout basement.
Yeah.
So like this is underground. This is, again, the garage is right above it. So over here where you see this wall, that's where there's a door right there going into another storage area. And then over here in this corner, that's closest to the camera basically, there is a walkout double door there.
Yeah.
So, there is natural light. Somebody was asking about windows. There is some natural light that can come in if I want to. It's got shades on there in the door, so I can close that off. And if I don't want that extra light, but I think I'll probably have it open for reviews and stuff, just for a little extra light in there. I would probably most likely, I'd love to do some sort of fancy lighting on the top, but I think I'll probably most likely do some sort of, just canned lighting, theater lighting, where I can change it up, maybe do some smart lights where I can change the colors, change the intensity and some of that stuff. This is something I showed you guys in our private chat, but this is also something I thought about doing. They have these textured wall panels that are kind of a plastic material. I thought that might be kind of cool on one wall.
And then I was saying it actually almost looks like soundproofing. And if you really do want to like worry about the sound down there, it might actually be kind of cool to do soundproofing on the walls, or at least one wall.
And I think it would maybe help with the sound. I really liked this idea because I thought it kind of looked kind of cave-like. It'd be kind of like I don't know.
I think it'd be, if it were me, I would consider the option of having each wall be different, because you might want a different feel for the samurai line compared to your Prime 1 Batman line. You could have completely different walls in there. One might be, brick, one might be this. I think I would be tempted to do something different with each wall.
That is definitely something. I just have so much to consider. And it could be one of those things where I go ahead and get, I'll take this off, sorry. I'll go ahead and get the room finished. I'll get it drywall, just simple drywall all the way around. And then that's whenever I can go in and try to make some of the changes. It doesn't always have to be right at once, I guess.
Yep.
So we'll see. I think that's going to be my first step. And my first step is going to be just to clear out that room, get rid of all that stuff. All the stuff that was in the storage room next to it, I'm cleaning out. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be a 2023 process. But I was talking to my wife and we're hoping that we can get it done within the next, 4 or 5 months, give or take. So it's going to be an interesting process, but I did just kind of want to see what everybody thought. Drywall is better. Morning to you, Mutant X Corpse. Have a huge wall for a projection TV for the BSC logo. So I don't know if I'm going to do projection, but I'll probably do like a 75, 80 inch TV on that wall or something like that. Do kind of what I have here now. Do you like the idea I showed you, that the drywall shelves? Do you think that would stand out too weird if I had garage shelving the rest of the room and that was built-in drywall white shelving?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
No.
I think it would look nice, and I could I could have the lighting in each row, and just do like I thought about doing like Sideshow on one side or quarter scale on one side, and then do all the samurai on the other side, kind of make them a grouping. And another thing about the drywall is it would let me hang up art.
Yeah.
Whereas with the concrete, leaving it concrete, it would be very difficult to do. And I might just have like an art wall, maybe. I'm not sure. The wall that when you first come in, that's off to the left. I thought that's kind of where my desk setup could be, and maybe some art and things like that on that wall. So we'll see. Matt T says, I'm a big fan of the accent wall idea. Yeah, I've definitely got a couple Alex Ross canvases that are going to be up there. They sell aesthetic soundproofing. Chris, that looks awesome. Use the black accent wall. So, and that's another thing is like if I did, I'm kind of thinking maybe just like the main wall you see when you look in, that could maybe be the accent wall. I don't know. So we'll see. Hey, Johnny, thanks for being here. The wall paneling would look great. Had the same idea for the only wall in my room. That's great. Has any of you ever put up that wall paneling? Do you like it? I like the idea of different treatments for each wall. So great minds think alike. Yeah, I mean, don't you guys think that the laminate would be a better idea than the epoxy, or do you like the epoxy idea better?
Laminate.
Yeah, I think so many people in reading people's comments, so many people want the epoxy, but it's got to be a livable space. Like it's not just a showroom. Yeah. It is my hangout room. Like it's going to be a livable space for me.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste that epoxy. Like I would do that like maybe in my garage with my cars and stuff in there or something. Not like a display room or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think laminate is the way to go. And again, like somebody mentioned, it would be like they're always wood grain, but it'd be a gray, like a light to medium gray, and then the dark walls. So I don't know. And Fatal says use throw rugs to warm it up. I could do something with some rugs. Brad says I would do gray indoor outdoor carpet. You can get it cheap, like probably 60 cents a square, and resilient. That's another thing is like, somebody recommended just big dark gray carpet squares. You could just put them down. I don't know. I think that would actually look pretty cool, but
it does. It looks cool. I had a big area rug in the other room for the first couple of years and got rid of it last year, and it almost eliminated all the dust down here.
Well,
that
really?
one rug created, I don't know why, but it did. It's amazing.
Are they the squares?
It was just one great big area rug that was almost as big as the room. It left like a border of the tile.
Yeah.
Showing.
I think
But
the most important. I'm sorry.
it was. I would never put anything carpet in again.
Yeah, which was I was about to say. Like I think the most important thing is how level is that floor as well. Like you don't want to like, have your shelving off balance unless you have like adjustable feet on your shelves. I don't know how those garage shelves are, but you want to make sure everything's leveled out.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty level, and we've put floors in upstairs, and we're really happy with the laminate. So I think that's probably what we'll do. I mean, I know it's going to be an expense. I mean, it's a big room, but it should be pretty easy to install because it's all just a big rectangle, no crazy edges. But so I think that's probably the floor I'm going to be. Like Fatal says, for me, this is hard, not an easy decision. That's the thing is like I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money and then it not be what I want. So I really appreciate your feedback and everybody's feedback in the chat as well. Theodore says, Chris, I work in construction. Definitely go for the drywall. And I think with drywall, you can also insulate it, right? If you, for a basement, isn't that what they recommend, I think? With the drywall shelf, can build storage under it and always add garage shelves in front later for even more display space. I agree with that, Matt. And that's what my wife is like. It's like, you don't want to put those built-in shelves because then what if you change your mind or, you could, but I feel like that would be such an easy flex space to like change things out.
Yeah.
And just,
That diagram you showed us looked really cool.
Well, I mean, the diagram, you mean like this one?
Yeah.
That's the only thing is like that one would have the built-ins in the front. So I don't know. It would change it up a little bit from this, but, and I might do like 2 rows of the middle and kind of rotate those around. Like I can see like if you rotated that light up blue section, if you rotated it parallel to the room or horizontal to the room, I could see like the bat bike sitting on that coming forward. Maybe some busts in the middle. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to have a nice flex space, I think, to.
Yeah, if each of those centerpieces were, if that was like 4 individual squares.
Yeah.
Then you could create one big square.
Yep.
Or remove a square.
I thought about doing like let's say the couch is here, put a shelf behind it, and then put another shelf over here, and then maybe one more. Maybe do some narrow ones on the sides where I could put some busts. I mean, that's what I think I like about such a wide space is I could really change it up if I need to, which I think will be ideal for the channel as pieces come in and out. So I don't know. I just think it took me a long time to settle on that room, and I didn't want to settle on it because I knew it was going to be expensive to fix it. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's the best space I could go into. I think.
Well, the good thing about that space is as you do get new pieces in and out, you're right near the outside. You can just push them right out the door.
I mean, I could literally do a review out there and have some natural light. It would be real easy to do. Jonathan says, I would do what's most stable. You can always change how it looks in the future using wraps and decals. And that's the thing is like, even with the garage shelving, I can build my wood wraps, just like you said. So I can do a lot with it. Statue sizes change. Be careful with customs. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, I did whenever I was going to go in the 3-window room, I was going to do a custom job, but I just don't think it's smart for me because if it was just one of those things where I never had new pieces changing and coming and going, if I just stayed put, I could probably do that. But I just think the way I collect, it's just not feasible to do a custom shelf.
The way these pieces are getting and the stuff you have on pre-order, how big they are, that bunker is going to look very small once all these giant statues come in. So,
yeah.
I think
it will fill up before you realize it.
It will.
The room you're in now would have felt really tight with those, especially the 1/3 diodes and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mentioned Jim Mint. He's been putting in the custom shelves, and I know he's really excited about that. And I love the way that looks, but again, I just worry. I worry for him even that like he's going to have that same frustration because he's the same way. He has pieces come in and out constantly. And I think he'll be able to accommodate them, but I think there'll be times where we'll be like, "Oh crap! I wish I had this more open. I wish if I have a bust or something, it's not going to fit in the space I want it to fit in." So, I don't know. It's a tough deal, and So I'm just gonna have to get creative, and hopefully it'll end up looking nice. But again, I really appreciate everybody's advice. Don't underestimate what you can do with paint. I've got marble pillars created by paint. Yeah, I was gonna say you can do so much with paint and walls, and I want to do some neat things with lighting. Like I said, there's so many like Govee lights are the ones that make the lights around my TV. Like they have all of these permanent lights now. Like I could literally just hang them from my ceiling, and if I wanted to, and if I didn't have the finished ceiling, and paint it black and have all these neat color patterns and stuff. So I could do a ton of different things. But I just, like I said, I don't want to spend a lot of money and it be the wrong thing. So we'll see. Stanley says, go bold and creative with the design. Modular furniture is easy to move things around. Custom looks great, but definitely limits if you need to change up your collection. You can customize garage shelving just fine. You've done it before. Yes, I've been doing it for 6 years on the channel. It looks nearly identical to IKEA packs. It'd be cool, Chris, if you do that bat bunker ceiling lighting like in the Dark Knight. It would be. I think that would. What do you think that'd just be a drop ceiling with? I don't know. Do you like the idea of like this, that kind of lighting, or do you like the idea of just like theater lighting with like just round can lights?
Trying to think just in general for your video making.
I just wonder if like
That
something
almost looks like a drop ceiling, and then the lighting would be above it.
Yeah.
Well, you probably know better. Do you find too much overhead lighting messes with your video, like the quality?
Well, and that's the thing. That's what I'd be worried about. Is that'd be like almost too much.
Yeah.
I like the idea of being able to turn on certain lights, turn off certain lights. Being able to maybe if I wanted to change the corners to blue, let's say, or have some back accent lighting, and leave all the other ones on. And like I mentioned, Govee actually has these really thin, like they're like this thin now, and they don't have the big can on the top, so you just wire them. So I can have a really low ceiling, it would be a really low off the top, and then all of those lights can be changed. So every light you can change colors, you can do patterns, you can do different effects with them. So I could see me doing something like that. So we'll see. Do you plan on doing glass covers or doors? Right now, no. I really like the open shelving idea. What I might do is I might just put some white backings on the lower shelf, and instead of black top shelves, like have white. I like the way white reflects the light a little bit better. So that might be something I try to do. I would go with laminate flooring and garage shelving. It's always smart to do things you can easily change. The second you build something permanent, the next second you'll find a reason why it doesn't work. Okay. There is no bean bags. Where are the bean bags going to go? Hey, we can throw bean bags anytime. We'll have a bean bag party, Brad. My area is a finished basement. It's a multi-functioning room, but for me, it's cozy being finished. In my time collecting, displays completely changed several times. So whatever you do is not permanent. Yeah. I have Govee lights. Plan to add more when the room expands. What do you use them for, Michael? Do you have them like on your shelving? Check out Later Clips YouTube channel for his review room. Looks like the Dark Knight. Okay, I'll check that out. Also, there is no number 1 and number 2 bucket. These should be easily accessible, but also be able to put away for safe. What does he mean there?
I think a bathroom.
Yeah, I'm thinking a bathroom joke.
Oh, a bathroom. Yeah, a bathroom. Philip View. I'm trademarking Beanbag Party. Just great branding. There you go, Brad. Beanbag Party. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with the bat bunker. Again, thank you guys for your advice. It feels like we're all kind of on the same page, and I think it's just, even though aesthetically I might want something different, I think in the long run, I think the drywall, the laminate, it's warm, it's going to sound better.
And like Jeff said, it'll add value to the house. Like even if somebody does want to use it for storage or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a good good investment.
So yeah, so that's going to be an ongoing process here in the next, like I said, 5 to 6 months. Hopefully we'll have it done. I've already got a guy that can do drywall and do a ceiling. He can't do electrical, but I think he knows a guy, so hopefully we can get the electrical in. It's already got electrical in parts of it, so I just will need to have some of that electrical moved.
Are you going to do heating and air, or are you just going to leave it as is?
I'm going to leave it as is. And
because sometimes, sometimes you have to upgrade your whole entire like furnace, and system because it only powers so many rooms. So if you add a room, it get quite expensive doing all that.
It's one of those things where like, I don't mind the cold. Like it's winter time here, obviously, and it's chilly in that room, which it doesn't bother me. And I like the idea it's a little cooler because of the statues. Like if I've got those silicone busts and stuff, I like the idea of it being cooler.
Yeah.
In the summertime, we've got things you can plug in and keep things cooler in there if need be. That's probably what I'll do. Just put one in the corner or something. It'll be kind of trial and error. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a good thing. I hope so.
Yeah, Brad brings up a good point. Get some, make sure everybody's licensed.
Yeah. Where does he say that? Let's see.
You want to go resell the house and then run into issues.
Yeah, always check license for electrical. Don't use just a guy. Yeah, for sure licensed. Get the all-in-one wall unit, heating and cooling, simple designs. I have seen some of those, Tom. So I will look into that too.
Yeah.
And I could see that being on the wall where my desk would be. You need climate control for comics and lithos. Be careful. Yeah, I mean,
looked at those. Mitsubishi makes some of those they can hang on a wall.
Yeah, they're kind of like this. They're like narrow.
Well, they're narrow and long.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Those work really good.
Use a lot of those in Europe.
Yeah.
So I might look into something like that. I mean, it would be ideal if it was connected to the house, that it was heated and cooled, but I have no idea.
Keep it a little cooler in there if it gets super hot.
Yeah. I don't know how much that would cost. I would imagine that would be incredibly expensive to tap.
Those are kind of expensive. Yeah. They work really good though. Like my cousin, that's all he uses in his house, and they work better than my central air conditioning.
Yeah. Stanley says electronics, Board Cube 102 says electronics will add some heat too. So adding some lighting and adding some things like that could add a little bit of heat in there. Tom says my friend has one in every room. That's cool.
How's the Wi-Fi in that room?
So we have Wi-Fi hubs throughout the house. Those pucks.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Now you're going through concrete walls too. So
yeah. So it's fine. I haven't done a live stream in there. So I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll freeze more or maybe freeze less. I don't know.
Maybe we should test it out one night and see.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I should just sit in there, set a table up, and just see if it works, because that is a good point. That's a good point. So anyway, anything else you want to add, or you want to move on?
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.